Hello. Welcome to Dorks Are Dangerous. This is episode. I'm not actually sure. Bruce, what episode are we on?
Hello. Yes, we're episode 5 already.
Oh my gosh.
Kind of exciting. We've had some interesting. I believe, we just arrived in Port Basalorn, and we saw somebody that we needed to see, which was a guy with a crossbow. I think kind of putting some pieces together, and I think that's where we're at.
Creed saw that, and I'm super excited for her to let us know so we can start putting those pieces together.
All right.
Let's get going.
Okay. You see him standing in the doorway. He watches you guys for a moment, and you see him turn and walk back into the waterlogged leech, which is the inn/tavern that he was standing in the doorway of.
First question, can Creed look around to see if she sees anyone else kind of watching us? Or is it just him specifically right at the moment?
Listen, there's people that are working on ships and on barges, but he's the only one that really takes notice of you guys.
Got it. Okay. I'm gonna circle back to specifically Thor and Nawada. Just kind of pull him aside. Maybe I'm just gesturing towards the city so Johnny doesn't get suspicious. And say,
a dwarven friend has followed us. He's up there in that bar, and I point to the waterlogged leech. There's a crossbow on his hip.
So the guy with the crossbow is a dwarf?
I think so. He matches about the height description we saw with the other two when they disappeared back in the marketplace.
Well, that's quite interesting.
That would make sense based on everything else we've seen so far.
I think we should... what do you think? I think we should pay that bar a visit at some point. Maybe tonight, the corner, or just see if it's regular.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
If he followed us here, then it's definitely worth figuring out why.
Perfect. We're all in accord. Honey, how soon before we dock?
You're already docked.
Fantastic!
Yeah, Johnny was in the process of that.
Alright, Johnny, I think this is where we leave you for now. If you don't mind paying up.
He smiles when you mention the money. He nods. He's like, yeah, I can probably take care of the rest from here. He reaches onto the other side of his belt and hands a bag over to you. It's like, for services paid in full.
he waits. How heavy does this bag feel?
Doesn't feel that heavy.
He nods a bit, goes,
She's just like, I should have asked you, shouldn't I?
He smiles and gives you a wink. Have I ever did you wrong?
Once in a while, you mumbling cove of a hornswoggler. She says it kind of playfully, but she's just like, God damn it.
I kind of nudge by, snatch the coin purse, put it under my arm in my sleeve, wink quickly at Creed, nod at Johnny, and off the barge we go.
Don't even hesitate.
Gone.
Okay.
makes sense.
And then as soon as Creed catches up, I hand the coin purse back.
Thank you.
Yeah, Thor's gonna hurry after Nawada, I guess, so he's not by himself.
Creepy money grubby, like, what the fuck? Runs after. So.
Well, I was giving you the moment to say your goodbyes.
Oh, why did you say that? She goes back real quick.
Thought it was pretty obvious.
It's not.
Johnny's confused. He's watching you guys walk off, and now you run back.
You'll find Nawada is about your best wingman ever.
Sorry, I don't know what that was about. That you'll be in town for a week?
I'll be in town for a bit. You know where to find me.
I know where to find you. Do I know how to find you is the question.
Usually whenever you need me.
Who do I ask, Johnny? I just throw your name out to the wind and pray a raven shits on it?
What do you want?
Is there a call sign you use? Is there a person in town I should talk to? I just come back here and scribble a note in the wood.
You can come back here. I'll wait for you.
Don't wait too long, please.
What's another hour?
Not knowing what to do in this situation, I'm actually going to personally roll for it. Hang on a second.
All right. Go for it. Or own your decision. That's up to you.
I'm going to let her own her decision to fate. There we go. Okay. She looks in for a second. Her arms are kind of awkwardly crossed over each other, not knowing what to do. Then just kind of quickly punches him in the shoulder. Says, "Don't die. I will see you later."
He winks and turns around and goes into that office / living quarters / bedroom / hidey hole. And you can see he kind of disappears.
Creed joins the rest of the party. But I'm not good with hints. Sometimes you have to actually tell me what you're doing.
Well, now you know. I thought perhaps the wink and the nod and the moving and the thing. Yeah.
You wink all the time!
Do I?
I don't know, it feels like a thing you do. Let's just go. We have to go.
Is she blushing?
Already
little.
red, so you're not sure.
You get a perception check in, I'll tell you, if you get a high enough.
I give her, you know what? I just give her a little fist punch in the arm, and then that's when I hand her back the coin.
Smacks you with her tail. Gets you right in the Charlie horse. Hard enough to hurt you, just enough to make it sting.
So, what first? We need a place to stay. I assume we're staying here for at least the evening. And we should probably take care of our business as quickly as possible. I don't presume that...
Is it daylight?
No, it's nighttime.
Okay.
You came in under the cover of night.
Right, so it's probably too late to go to the lawyer, whoever we're going to for this inheritance business.
I don't think we want to stay in the same building as our friend up there.
Yes and no, right? I believe...
Me, I want to pop in, say hi, share a drink, maybe a fist fight, but I don't want to sleep there.
Well, depends what state he's in after we say hi to him.
Ooh, I like the way you think. After all this pent-up frustration and awkwardness, I am ready to kick some ass, so why don't we go say hi?
Before we go, Nawada points at the coin purse.
Oh, yes, right. Who wants to... I should probably look at this. Don't be impressed. Please. He opens it up.
There's 3 platinum pieces and 4 gold.
He slams that shut so quick. Looks around to see if anyone's looking at him.
No one's watching, guys.
Smart.
She's got, like, it's clasped between her hands, like, to her chest. And it's like, so... Yes. I tell them what's in there. And Greed's eyes are just bulging, and, like, she's almost broken into a cold sweat. She just hands the bag, like, just holds it out to either of you to take it, because she's, like, shaking, she's like, I don't want to hold this.
Smart of him to make it light.
Exactly. Either we split it now, or I think either of the two of you should hang on to it. Maybe the biggest.
We should split it now. Right now. Please.
Sure. Whatever works.
She hands out a platinum to both of you, and how much gold or silver was in there with it?
4 gold.
And just like gold to Nawada, 1 to Core, and her. Whoever wants this extra gold can have it.
Just leave the gold in the group pot, maybe.
Agreed.
Perfect, okay.
Agreed.
How much gold is platinum? I actually don't know.
10.
10. It's all
Cute.
based on 10s.
Okay.
Besides Electrum, that's based on 5 and no one ever uses.
Exactly. Doesn't even count. Doesn't exist. Now watch, Johnny will give us something in Electrum and we'll have to convert.
Everything's in Electrum.
Awesome.
Right. So, how do we want to approach this?
As the friends really knows what we look like, so either we can go in bold and strong, sneak in the back door, wait for him to come out, find another place to sleep for the night first.
Is there another inn close by or something?
This is the only inn that seems to be in this area. There are other businesses around.
If we want to keep an eye on this scallywag, I think that we need to probably consider staying here.
You're probably right.
The only
All
other,
right.
the only other way is to ask around, and I don't know that we want to ask around all that much.
That's who's going to talk to us willingly. Looked a little sketchy out here by the dock. It sounds like we have a forward option. Let us go to the waterlogged leech.
We go to the waterlogged leech.
You guys walk in. The front door is open. You see there's a couple people in there. Only 3
How late is it really? Like 2 a.m., 4 a.m.?
At this point, probably around 2 a.m. in the morning.
Pretty late.
Pretty late. There's 3 or 4 people in there. Looks like they're dock workers that are finished off their shift and they're drinking away whatever money they've made today. See, there's an old man, long, scraggly beard, standing behind the counter. He up-nods to the group of you as you come in and just kind of motions around. He's like, stay wherever you want. I'll be right over.
We see our dwarven friend.
You don't see him in here.
Excuse me, barkeep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're supposed to meet a friend here. A dwarf fellow wearing a crossbow on the hip. Do you know where he went? Where his table is at?
He just paid and left. He motions his thumb out the back door.
Shit, do you know where he was going?
And he shakes his head. He's like, no. Didn't ask. Didn't care.
That's fair. Thank you so much.
He raises his brows like, he's your friend. You know where he is?
We were supposed to meet here, and I'm new to town. He was supposed to show us around.
Like, oh, maybe he catch him. He didn't leave that long ago.
Shit, that, thank you.
Yeah, Core's already making her way to the back door.
Okay. You walk to the back door. It leads off into another street. Actually, kind of a main street. You're looking around and you don't see him.
Can I make any sort of attempt at tracking him?
How do you plan on doing that?
Well, I don't know. Like, what do these streets look like? Are they dirt roads? Are they...
They're cobblestone.
Reed will come up behind Cora.
Smart little bastard. Don't think we're gonna do much here in the dark, Core. might as well some food in our stomachs, find a room, vantage point we can see something. Catch him tonight.
I
Sir.
suppose.
I walk up to the bartender guy. Sir, how much for a room for the night?
Like, for 3 of
Yes.
you? Like, 8 silver.
There's only half the night left. Perhaps we could bring that into a more reasonable amount. Besides, we may be staying here longer if we can come to a more reasonable agreement.
He raises his brows. He looks at you. Give me a persuasion roll.
Ooh, that's horrible.
That's a nat 1.
That
That's
is
a
just
6.
straight up. You know what?
9 silver.
Forget I said anything. Yeah, I'll give him the 9 silver and call it a day.
He puts the silver on the counter. You just give him the 9 silver. He takes it. He puts a key on the counter and motions upstairs. It's like room 4.
We need the rest.
It's like, I don't care.
Core and Creed are still at the back door still, so.
You need food and a drink?
Yes, if we could, that'd be fantastic.
3 silver.
Very good. I don't even try bartering with him.
You
I
have
just
the
give it to
feeling
him.
he doesn't like your kind around here.
Yeah, clearly. I don't know what my kind is, but apparently.
Whatever it is, he doesn't like it.
Yeah, obviously.
He doesn't like your human face.
He doesn't like my ugly human face.
He puts a glass on the counter and fills it with some cheap ale and some food on a plate that doesn't look the cleanest, but could be worse, I guess. And he shoves it in front of you.
All right. And how about for my friends?
He holds his hand out.
I pay him 6 more.
He gets you 2 other meals, identical. Just kind of food just slopped on the plate. Maybe it's like some sort of beans with some sort of, maybe it's meat. And ales that don't look the best. The food's acceptable.
Okay.
Definitely not the best you've had. You can definitely make it way worse. Pretty bland.
I just bring it over to the group. We're going to slap it down. I say, quickly, a meal, ale, not the best. We'll look for better in the morrow. And we have a room.
What did you do? Did you spit on the man?
Yeah, apparently. He did not seem to. He did not seem to enjoy my company at all. I'm going to attribute it to the locale as well as the late evening hour.
What's the bartender doing right now?
He's talking to one of the other patrons.
Okay. I didn't mean to hit that, sorry. I would like the front door to slam shut just by itself suddenly.
Oh boy, here we go.
You use thaumaturgy, the front door slams shut. Everyone jumps, not expecting it, and they all kind of look around confused. The bartender raises his brow and makes his way over. Kind of stretches and arcs his back.
I wanted to smack him in the nose. Not hard, just enough to, like, bop him.
Well, it's already slammed shut, so are you...
She's doing it again to...
Okay, he
Just to
goes...
smack him.
He goes to open the door and slam shut again. He recoils back. What
He's
the
just
hell?
sipping the ale, just looking at Core. Oh, enjoyed your time in the bars? Is this...
He looks around and he glances back to your table and pushes the door open again. And then he looks at everyone and is like, well, we're closing up soon. Hurry up. Finish up what you're doing.
Yes, sir. Right away.
Kind
Pushes
of
her plate.
grumbles and walks back behind the bar.
Looks at both of them and kind of smirks around the rim of her cup.
Y'all are so petty.
I say to Creed. Now,
Yes?
you know that I'm always for picking a good fight. I'm in. However, until we get matters taken care of, perhaps a low profile might be in order.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's clearly a draft.
Obviously.
I understand, Ovada. But this wasn't a fight. This was toy. This was child's play, and I was just looking for a laugh. I promise, and my dear saintly mother, wherever her grave is in hell, let's do it again tonight.
Was there anything else of note in the bar?
No, it's pretty nondescript.
Can we overhear what the other patrons, the dock workers are saying?
Well, they're just complaining about work, not getting paid enough. Your typical gripes of the common man. One guy's complaining about his wife. The typical. Nothing especially salacious or juicy.
Sure. I suggest that we finish quickly and off to bed and deal with our meeting in the morning.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds like a plan.
Hey, you head upstairs to the room.
Yeah.
It's dry. It's not the best room, as this tavern doesn't seem to be the best. However, it does keep you inside, out of the elements, short of the smells of the river wafting in. One bed. One pillow.
It's on the floor next to a window as far as she can get from the others.
Okay.
I figure we might want to keep watch tonight.
Would you like me to keep first watch? I would rather not go to sleep, honestly.
Sure.
Agreed, we'll take first watch however long that is until daylight.
Okay.
It's so late. I don't know if we only need one watch or what.
Yeah, you guys just need a few hours of sleep. You don't need, your full 8 hours, because you guys really haven't used any spells the last couple of days. It's just been kind of a lazy stroll down the river.
I stay up a little while with Creed, and so, Creed, it would appear that you you and Johnny have a bit of a history.
Yes?
I only bring it up, not to pry, but just to let you know that if you need us for anything, of course, just ask. If you need a moment here and there, again, just let us know and take the hints better from now on.
Chuckles. I will make a point to try a little harder to know when you're helping me make a move, so to speak.
I kid. You just let us know.
Johnny is a different individual. I trust him quite a bit, but I've seen what he can do to people who is a backstabber he doesn't care for. I don't know if you guys were able to talk while you were on the barge, but just note of that.
Yes, I was able to assess that exact thing. However, I think that he could prove to be a great resource for us here. And in fact, depending on how things go tomorrow, we may need his assistance. We're about to go into a negotiation to which we know very little.
This is true.
So I've been thinking that when we go in, and this isn't my first choice, but it might be the better choice. Maybe I go in alone.
I don't use that, or one of us acts bodyguard. If you are a lord or whatever the status is, it would make sense to have someone there for protection. At least one of us.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not saying don't be around, and maybe come into maybe even join in the office. But the meeting itself, I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. I'm just putting things out there so that we're aware of potential possibilities.
It's good to know. Speaking of things to be aware of, I did ask Johnny about Utah. He doesn't
Yes.
seem to know. He doesn't seem to know anything about him.
We'll have to
From
keep
what
an eye
I could
out.
ascertain.
Let's keep an eye out for him. He may be here. He seems to travel a bit.
Was he? He just told me he was going to Zellicott to see the sister and her small ones.
Yes, but that's not where he resides, I feel. Because we did find him at the Butcher and the Boar.
That is true. He's also a soldier, but he was retired, it seemed, or just wasn't anymore. At least not for the king.
It means he has skill. Keep an eye out. We'll see.
Agreed.
And the other thing we have not seen, we'll have to inquire here and see if anyone of our bookworm.
Yes. Oh, zit, I forgot to ask Johnny if... Well, hopefully I will get another chance to ask, but also you and Cor can ask him questions.
Oh,
Isn't
yes. He seems to be decently forthcoming with information that is not too crucial, but any type of thing like that best comes from you, I think.
This is fair. Anything that's going to cost him his own skin is going to be a lot more costly, but I agree. Might be for the best.
I think you being our direct line, I'm happy to approach him, but I think that you'll get a much better response, as you are his devilish angel.
Bada, I will cut you here and now, I swear to God.
I know you will. And he kind of just rolls over and says, "Wake me when it's my turn."
Should I make a perception roll or anything?
No, it goes by uneventful for you.
She looks wide awake, zero turn, and then goes back and lays down in her corner next to the window.
So, when we have these moments, we could invite each other very easily to ask a couple questions here and there, right? Because it's this trade-off.
That's true. That's true. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's why I bring it up, is I thought, well, I kind of did that. I got to throw out my little quips and my little whatevers. I would invite you to do the same. If you're interested.
I am. I just didn't think about it in the moment.
Mm-hmm. Tossing it out there. For funsies.
Noada, you start taking watch just to make sure everything is on the safe side. As you're looking around and trying to stay alert, maybe glancing towards the window every now and then, you kind of see a familiar instance. You look over to Creed, and she's starting to groan and shift and growl. Creed, even though you are asleep, you your body impacts off the ground. And much like before, this stampeding of horses, stepping on you, crushing your legs, crushing your arms, you see a friend, someone who was once a friend, lands next to you, their eyes vacant, life snuffed out of them. And as you reach out to assist them and try to help them, even in a futile effort, a horse comes by, the horse stomping on the head of one of your former compatriots, continuing going by.
Oh, not again. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And you get stomped across the back by a horse hoof. And as the horses are coming, they start to split off. You see a giant orc with an axe in hand walking towards you. And as you try to scream out and try to back away, you try to reach for your weapon, and you can't. You feel restrained by the fear and the terror that's overcoming you. Nawada, you see her body shaking. You hear whimpering and mumbling in Infernal, as that's her native language. So instinctively it would refer to that.
I once again... Does she seem to calm after a bit, or is it increasing, the same?
I would say you're starting to see tears in her eyes streaming down her face. I don't think she calms.
Against better judgment and against the what Kor had told him, he simply reaches out and gently as he can just grabs her hand.
Give me a wisdom save with disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Me or her?
Her.
Okay.
Wisdom save. Okay.
Nine both times.
Okay.
Could be worse.
Roll a d4.
Okay. A 4.
Alright, Nawada, take 4 points of damage. You reach out and you put your hand in hers and you try a different technique than what Or had been suggesting. And her hand grabs hold of yours as if hanging on for dear life, and her nails dig into the back of your hand and the palm of your hand.
Yep.
Like a vice-like grip that she digs in, like she's trying to pull herself away or trying to get free. Creed, you wake up at that point.
And we say that she actually lurches up and grabs hold of him with the other arm, almost basically holding on to him for dear life, and is buried up against him. Freaked out.
Yeah, definitely.
Basically, Nawada, you just got pulled into the most aggressive bear hug you've ever been in your life.
And
She's
fully expected.
just crying.
Yep.
She's crying and sobbing and shaking violently, still coming out of this nightmare against him.
Yeah, she holds him, or he holds her rather, and most importantly, does not let go of her hand.
Where you wake up at this point, and her nails are firmly embedded in your hand, even though she doesn't realize it, and you're gritting your teeth and sucking it up.
Yeah, I was going to say that Kor cracks an eye open and is just silently watching this.
Takes.
Nawada motions Core over.
All right, Cora will push to her feet and walk over.
Reed's mumbling, like is slowly coming to what she's doing. You can hear she's mumbling something. It sounds like names in Infernal and partially in Common. Little bits and pieces of it, and she realizes what she's done. She lets go. She tries to let go as carefully as she can of the impaled hand. Looks up at Bruce's face at Cora's. She says, "I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I did not mean that. I'm sorry."
In response, Nawada simply calmly says, I'm a warlock. I am accustomed to pain. And that's the first time you've heard him admit.
He just looks at him and just nods once and says, we need to talk about this. Because I don't know what to do anymore. I'm scared that it will escalate and I don't want to wake up with more dead friends.
No offense, Creed. You can hold your own and all, but I don't think you'd kill me.
She breathlessly chuckles at that. Yes. It's fair.
Nawada says, she might kill me. It's fine. She can talk. It's good.
I mean, she just forgets and kind of like scrubs her face accidentally with the bloody hand, not even realizing she did it. Remembers and uses the other hand to quickly swipe at her face, clean her hands on her clothes.
At this point, Nawada gets up and tends to the fire, giving her a little bit of space to breathe. And then rejoins, sits down, crisscross applesauce.
Johnny, do you want her to go through, or do you want to go through it?
You can go
The
through.
narration. Okay.
Well, you and we met about a month and a half ago now. Date. A month ago, 15 days, 27 hours since you and I met.
That's pretty precise.
4 months ago, 28 days, 10 hours ago. It was in a war. I could not tell you who I was fighting for. It was just Red Saints. We did that. We were a mercenary brand. Fought whoever paid the most. This battle been going on for 3 days. 2 of those days, I ran into the same foe, an orc. And every time we met, we couldn't take care of each other. We couldn't kill one another. Just on and back and forth, and we didn't know how much longer this battle was going to go. So on the third day, despite my captain's orders, I charged ahead of the cavalry's formation. I could see them. They were right looking there. I spooked my horse. I lost control. And I couldn't dodge their Dork. His great hammer cracked me against the chest, threw me from the horse, and I fell. Last thing I remember is the air rushing from my lungs, the clobbering of prints and the horses screaming, companions screaming, drowning in the mud, in the yelling, and the fighting, the chaos. Shivers, he tried to get me. The orc got him first. And I came to 2 weeks later. Barely a person again. I found out I cost the lives of 3 of my brothers in arms. I found out that orc did it. That he piled them right next to me. Then, another week later, I went looking for Johnny to see if he knew where to find the bastard, if I could get a lead, and I couldn't find him. Then the night terror started. The captain discharged me for being a liability. I was dangerous to my comrades. I broke down in battle. I was no longer fit for his army. You found that. You found that I was discharged. But you didn't know why. Unfortunately, I would say my actions back at the other end were due to this event. And it's not fair. It does not excuse the behavior. And since meeting you both, I've tried to think of the second choice rather than the first choice. And then she actually undoes the sleeve of her shirt. And you see the scars of where hooves have trampled into her body. You see that her arm bones look a little disjointed. Like clerics definitely healed her, but not fast enough to help with the mending of the bones. It goes all the way up and under her shirt. That's why she's got certain scars on her face that kind of look like crescents and jab marks. So, I've been trying to find the orc, and I've had little success. Or I didn't tell you. It didn't feel like something easily shared. And she'll actually pull out a corded necklace. You'll see 3 metal, almost like dog tags, with the RS of the Red Saints on them. He holds them up. This Shivers, Lock, Iron Bar. I can't rest until I deal with that orc. His nightmares won't go away until I do. Puts him away. It's quiet.
Cor will just rest a hand on her shoulder.
She reaches up and grips it with her free hand. I'm sorry. Oh.
Said it before, but nothing to apologize for. You can't help what happened to you. It's not something you need to feel guilty about.
I appreciate that, but there is a lot to feel guilty for when you cause the death of your compatriots.
They made their choice, Creed. Saying you caused their death takes away that agency from them. They made their choice to help.
She doesn't respond. She just You're not sure if she's taking that to heart or dismissing it, and she just doesn't respond.
Nawada and Creed, both of you take an inspiration.
Ooh.
That shit was intense.
What does inspiration do?
You can use inspiration to... Let me pull up all of the uses for it.
Oh, it says in D&D, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. So, inspiration can...
House rules. It's whatever Johnny says it's good for.
I believe when you have inspiration, you can use it when you roll for an attack or saving throw or ability check to give yourself advantage on that roll. You have to choose to do so before you make the roll.
Good to know.
And I will allow, usually from house rules, inspiration if you guys are stuck and you need a hint.
Ooh, I like that. Okay. What time of morning is it?
At this point, you had gone through yours, so Tuesday, it's about 7 in the morning. And you have exhaustion today.
Okay. Let me just add that.
And you can give your inspiration to someone else too, if you want them to have that inspiration die for their roll.
Got it, okay. Did we accidentally give Core exhaustion, or is it just me because I woke up again?
It's you because of the night terrors.
Makes sense, okay.
It seems far more vivid this time.
Got it. And I relay that to them both, just offhandedly, just as this time felt. It felt almost as if I could feel the horses again. Feel the stomp of his feet, the mud. I don't know what it means. It hasn't been that clear before. Avada, are you okay? She's looking at your hand and just you in general, physically and maybe emotionally after what you admitted.
So the blood is as the blood drips. He just wraps it in whatever he's got. And now that we have that out of the way and on the table, it is much more understandable, your reactions that night. And as
Doesn't make it right.
doesn't make it wrong. As Kor has again so eloquently pointed out, 'twas not your doing, 'twas not your choices. We deal with the hand that life is given to us, and we will deal with this hand. If there are two people in your life right now that you can stand behind,
She nods, kind of tiredly smiles at him. Thank you.
to which I will say, and I hope you can gain solace in knowing this, should we meet this orc, He will rue the day, as it will be his last. And he will not enjoy that day.
That is a goal I can get behind. She wipes the tears from her face. See more of that little bit of the old greed kind of coming back, just locking away all that. To deal with maybe a non-existent therapist at a later date.
Is it time for breakfast?
It's definitely time for beer.
I think we've earned it.
It's time for alcohol, that is for sure.
Watered down wine for everyone, Henri. But we'll have to find it. So first, we probably need to deal with the dealings of the day. Again, if we're going to do this, understand that there could be people here that recognize this individual. This Mr. Lockwood. Do we have his first name? Do I know my Lockwood first name? Is it Alvin or something like that?
That's what the letter said.
Right? So this Alvin Lockwood is I'm trying to I made mention to you last night, Cree, that maybe I do this alone, but I think that would be a very poor decision. Because I may miss something. And I may need your guidances.
I think at least Cora should be in the room with you if possible, if they allow one in. I'm not sure I'm going to be of much use today.
Yeah, if you're someone fancy, then you'll probably have a guard. I can do that. You should definitely be the one doing the talking, though. It wouldn't make sense for me to speak up.
Agreed. However, if, again, like I said, as I may be caught up in the moment, I may miss something or misspeak, 'tis where you will come in.
Alright, I'll try to do it in a way that makes sense.
If they let us all in, then we can cover each other's backs, but it is a good plan for now.
Alright, I think maybe we should find a different place to have breakfast. This food here was not quite... Granted, it was the end of day and probably left over from the swill pot of the morning, but that said...
Avada, you have never spoken sweeter words. Let us go.
As we get out, we're looking for maybe a guardsman or somebody that seems of the town, and we are going to ask where we might find the office of Clifton Shaston, Esquire.
You show him the letter, or at least the address on the letter on where to go, and he directs you on how to get there. That's not a problem at all.
All right. We make our way that direction, and in so looking for a little bit better of an inn or tavern of something that we can get a more hearty breakfast.
There's various market squares with people vending food, fish, hot meals.
Ooh.
And you see people are grabbing stuff on their way to work. So you can always do that, or if you want to look for a better inner tavern, you can definitely find more places. That's not an issue at all.
I like the street food. There might be something to that.
As long as it tastes better than the slap from last night, I am not picky.
I walk up to one of the street vendors that looks like, have something nice and hot piping and something that smells fantastic. Just looking for really that quality, maybe a combination surf and turf.
Breakfast surf and turf.
Yep.
I approve.
Steak and eggs, baby, and maybe a little whatever. Fish.
Some shrimp on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have like these empanada-like eggs with shrimp and fish chunks in it, and a regional sauce, kind of like a mix between a hot sauce and Russian dressing. That will definitely take out whatever fishy flavor if you don't like that.
Whatever it is, I'll cover it. Just ask.
They're 4 copper each.
I order 3.
3 are given to you. They are pretty hot, pretty warm.
All right. And I hand 2 of them to my compatriots, my wonderful traveling partners. I set mine down next to them. I'm looking around next for libation. Do I see anything street vendorish? If not, I can quickly dive into a tavern.
In this case, you'd probably have to go to a tavern.
Very well. I go in and ask to the very nearest one, and ask for 3 of their morning ales.
Okay. They give you a breakfast-style ale, kind of like a lighter stout that will keep you full for the day.
All right. Perfect. And I tell them we're just outside. I will return these mugs. I slip an extra. So how much for the ales?
It'll be 9 copper.
All right. I put the 9 copper out, and then I put an extra silver on the bar and let them know that I will return the mugs.
Okay. They thank you and see you all.
And I go out and join the others.
You guys eat, you drink, you take up a little bit of the morning, getting your bearings about you, helping Creed wake up from not having a good night's sleep and become somewhat functioning. After you finish, you follow that guard's directions and you head towards the Shaston Law offices. They're in a part of town that's a little bit more residential, not as high-end, not so much well-to-do. But you do see there is a building. The windows are shuttered, but you do see there's lights inside. The building's older. It looks like some work's been done to it in recent months and weeks to improve the condition. You see that there's someone inside from the outside.
Do you recognize anyone in here?
Well, if you look inside, you see there's it's like a one-room office. There's a door behind the man at the desk. He's sitting there, and it looks like he's writing in a journal of some sort or a ledger.
Vata, it's the lead. Go behind. I will take up Xivia, just in case they only allow one of us with you.
All right, well, he smiles at them both and says, "Here we go." And he starts walking in.
You walk in. The man from behind the counter, he looks up and for you a smile. smile. He fixes his glasses. He looks to be in his 30s. He's pretty reasonably dressed. He's like, well, good morning. It's like, welcome to Shaston Law Offices. Mr. Shaston, I'm your lawyer. What can I do for you? Come in, have a seat. He motions to, there's 2 chairs in front of the desk, and there's another couple along the wall. There's some bookshelves, a couple of books on them, not overly burdened.
Well, hello, Mr. Shaston. I am Alvin Lockwood, and we're here to take care of some business that you sent out for me for.
He thinks for a minute and nods. He's like, yes. It's like, I'm sorry about your uncle. Like, do you have the paperwork?
I slide over the paperwork as the first the letter that describes all of this, and then of course the notary, and said, what details can you tell me of the events that brought this to be?
He looks over the initial letter that he sent you, and then he looks over the other one and follows it with his finger, looking at the names and the signatures and the notary on it, and Nazi's like, in reference to your uncle's passing?
Yes, and to everything leading up to this.
We've been traveling for some time on the road. We haven't had much chance to post or find much what's going on in the world.
He looks a little taken aback by you, but then quickly recomposes himself. He folds everything up and he puts it on the side of his desk. It's like, he died of natural causes, to my knowledge. And based on the research that was done, you were his only living relative. He shrugs. He's like, I'm only the executor.
Very well.
But if you would wait here, I just need to go into the back. I just need to have some forms I need you to sign, just to confirm everything, and I will retrieve the deeds and everything for you. Stands up and walks into the back.
We will be posted by the door that they came in, like still in the room, but like is making sure no one else is coming in behind them.
Okay. Yep, you're posted up and you hear a loud bang as the door is slammed shut behind you before you can even react to it.
Shit!
What are you doing?
I'm gonna turn to see if I can open it, but no, it's locked. Never mind.
Did it lock?
You shove the door and there's no give to it.
It's trapped in here.
Cora's gonna follow after the guy who went to the back room.
Okay. You go into the back room and you see there is a back door there that's shut, and there's nothing in that back room.
Are there any windows in the main room we're in?
There are shutters in front of them, so they're shuttered shut, so you really can't see out. The flip side is no one can see in either.
Are there stairs or anywhere else? Is it just these 2 rooms, or
It's just the 2 rooms.
all right?
Up.
Can Cor try to bust down this door?
You pull your foot back and you kick the door, and you hear a thud as you realize that it's barred from the other side. As you guys kind of realize that you've been set up,
Yeah.
you hear a voice from outside yell inside. You're a slippery one, Alvin. You bastard. The Church of Stellar will get their answers from you and all your cult.
God.
In what? You hear a bang outside, And whoever was yelling in doesn't say anything.
Swords are out. And I'm going to carefully peek out one of the windows with the sword, but hoping to not get anyone's line of sight on me. I just want to see if I can see out and see what happened.
You're trying to look out, but you're not able to see anything from where you are. You just see the streets. They're pretty empty over here.
See anything on this side?
I knew this was too good to be true. I knew I had a pretty good feeling we were walking into a trap.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what that was one of the main
wow.
reasons I wanted one of you to stay out, but it's all good.
I investigate. There's like a side pack. Nah, never mind. There's only 2 doors. That's stupid.
Back in. And then, again, the shuttered windows, but doesn't mean you can't bust them out.
She's gonna take the butt of her rapier and start trying to bash one of the windows out.
You smash the window and you start punching through the shutters. You don't have much of a problem with that.
I hear anything outside now that there's nothing blocking.
Pretty quiet.
She's gonna peek her head out just a little bit, see if she can see anything better. Anyone on the ground? Anyone this way?
From the front of the building, no.
There's no one at the front. Should we run? Should we go for it?
Is there anything else in here that we can see in the office? Was there a desk? I assume he's on one side of the desk, we're on the other, or something to that effect.
Yeah, there's just the desk, the chair that he had.
I'm
and the 2
rummaging through
chairs.
anything. Is the opening drawers? Is there anything in there?
There's a quill and ink, a couple pieces of paper.
Total
Nothing.
setup. Nothing of value.
Nothing of value.
Or of informational value, that is.
Correct.
Walls.
It's quiet
Anything
out.
on the walls?
Nope. Plain walls. Looks like it has a
Very much set up.
fairly fresh coat of paint on it.
Anything
Those are
access to the
darker brown.
roof?
Nope. Just the 2 rooms to the building.
I say we get out this door. The back door.
Did I break out the window in the back is in?
Is there any windows in the back?
Just the front. There's no one on the street, so no one would even notice you guys climbing out.
There's no one on this side, and I've already broken the window open. Let's save our strength. The more time we waste, the more time someone
Yeah.
comes.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
Out.
way.
Gone. What do we see?
Is
Alright,
anyone else bothered by the fact that the guy who was talking to us got murdered or something?
Yeah.
Honestly, whoever did is on our side at this moment, so let's deal with that later.
Yeah, I want to get out. I want to see what I see. Let's go find the guy. Let's take a quick look, and then
you jump out the window, and again, the front is pretty vacant. There's no one around, no pedestrians. You glance down the alleyway that you think you heard the voice coming from, and you see 2 figures there. You see the man that greeted you when you first came in as Clifton Shaston, and he is on the ground, and you see a dwarf with a long black beard, long black hair, beard's braided to the end. One of you'd seen him before.
How far
They're
away
both
are we
up.
from him?
10 feet.
is
Tell me right now why I should drop you.
wait. I put my hand on her arm. He's helped us twice. At least. We're looking at this backwards. He's an ally.
He relents a little bit. Thinks about it.
Oh, fucking damn it. Fine.
Just wait. Just wait. Let's talk to him.
Can we talk somewhere else? Somewhere a little more covered?
They're on the ground.
Wait,
Both
they're
of them
both
are
on the ground?
They're both on the ground.
Oh, shit!
Wait.
There's no one behind. There's no one with them.
No one with them.
Oh, so maybe he wasn't.
If you move down the alleyway a little bit more, just to get a better look, you see the lawyer is lying face down on the ground.
Yeah.
But his neck has been turned around till his chin is on the other side of his shoulder.
Son of a...
And you see the dwarf.
Would you say that would we be able to? Is it in such a contorted way that we can assess that he's probably dead?
Very dead.
Okay.
And the dwarf has a lot of blood coming from him. And as you get closer, you see there are 4 huge, deep claw gashes that have ripped through his armor and his torso, down his face and along his throat. There is blood pouring out from...
I do...
Yeah.
Okay. Reed wants to immediately get up to this body. She wants to do an investigation, and with certain creatures, she has advantage.
In the meantime, I'm pushing my hands on his wounds, trying to stop as much of the bleeding to prolong his life as long as we can.
He is already gone.
Oh, dang.
His eyes are open, staring up vacantly. You search through what he has on him. He does have that crossbow that looks very familiar to what you saw before, marking him as the same one that you saw from the waterlogged leech, and you find a letter tucked into his boot.
I relate to them real quick that this is the same guy, and then I open the letter.
Okay. I will send you the letter. If you're reading it out loud, then by all means, feel free to read this out loud to everyone, with or
She's
without
quickly
an
skimming
accent.
it. Yeah, she's quickly skimming it.
Chorus posted keep in watch, but she kind of looks back and says, once you've searched them, can we do this somewhere else?
Yes, she folds up the letter, shoves it into a pouch on her, in her, like, breastplate thing that's underneath, and goes, need to get that to here right now. Yeah, I don't know if we should go back to Zizok. I don't know if Johnny's been compromised, but he might be our best shot. Might have to be there. I don't know. Actually, do I know anyone else in this town? DM, Johnny?
No, you don't.
Does he have the tattoo?
Does he have the tattoo? I did an investigation, but I don't know if that buys me anything. It's a 10.
You look on him.
I'm literally looking at the same place for the tattoo.
There is no tattoo there.
These wounds, do they look anything to be fiend, fae, undead related? Anything like that?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Shit. Okay. We need to go right now.
I hope they're not.
Right now, I'm not kidding.
Yeah. There's nothing else. We found nothing else, just this note and his crossbow.
And a money pouch with coin in it.
Got it.
I assume we're grabbing that, and let's go. Where are we going?
We got it. Go.
Core, find us a way. Find us a place.
You guys make your leave. You're able to cut down some side streets, stay to main streets, fall into crowds of people that are...
Before we leave, I grab the
go ahead.
letters.
You go back inside and grab the letters?
Yeah, I wanted to... That's why I was asking about what was inside. I didn't know if he took them with him or if I thought he had them on him.
No, I apologize. No, he left those on the desk.
Yeah, I would scoop those up. I don't want any trace of us being here.
Not a problem at all. You cover up your tracks pretty well, and you take your leave. You move down some side streets, go back to some main drives. People really don't think anything twice about it, as you're just people walking around. And eventually you're able to find a place where you can conversate.
Johnny, with my investigation, do I know which of the types of creatures made those marks? Or do I just know it's one of those?
One of those.
Got it, okay. And where are we at right now? We're just in a sidebar or in a...
If you want to go to a side tavern, if you want to just go to an alleyway away from everyone, you can have a proper conversation there. Wherever you guys would want to go, you don't have much problem getting there. So
Might be good to at least go back and peek and see if the barge is still there and see if anyone is waiting there or murdering Johnny as we speak. Or...
Yeah, good idea.
Call. So we're peeking from an alleyway that oversees the barge. That way no one sees us out there. But...
Wherever Cora's leading us, we're right behind because she was back, so we're following Cora wherever Cora's directing our travels.
No problem. You take a look to where the barge was, and you don't see it there. In part of your description, Johnny was always there until you needed him.
True.
Some people don't change.
He holds in the fury she's got in her right now. Just swallows and goes, "Oh, we need to find an alleyway or something. I don't want to be in a room where we can't exit. What do you think is best?"
Might be best to just get out of town as quickly as we can. There's nothing else we need to do here, is there?
I don't think so, no. Alright, if we need horses or a wagon, I can drive the wagon, or the cart, but maybe we just start running or we get a horse or something.
Nawada pulls out on one of his masks and puts it on. If anybody else knows of Alvin, he doesn't want to display that.
It sounds like we're trying to get out of town in any direction, whatever's closest.
You can stay along the riverbed. You're only about a half mile in where the waterlogged leech is. So you are able to get out of town without any incident. No one thinks anything twice. People glance at you because you look like you're newcomers. But no one really takes note.
As soon as we're maybe a few miles out of town, our creature stops. Okay. First thing. Whatever attacked them was not human. It was not good. It was either a fiend, an infernal, undead, one of those things. Second, I have this. And then she unfolds the letter and begins to read it. You just pull it up. Dear Dig, you may recall our conversation last month.
You don't need to use your accent.
Thank you.
You can
Okay,
just make it normal.
I was like, this is going to be so painful.
Oh,
All right. Dear Bombdeg, you may recall our conversation from last month in Bet Langerton at the Silver Half Pint. At the time, you mentioned your interest in the activities of a society whose name I shall refrain from mentioning here. In particular, you were anxious to locate the whereabouts of a certain officer known as the Nightmare Speaker. I am now able to confirm each and every one of your suspicions. After your departure, I made some discreet inquiries and I managed to ascertain that the person you seek uses the name Alvin Lockwood. In accordance with your plan, Mr. Lockwood will be traveling towards Delicate through the Ractic Forest at some time towards the end of the month. I have the good fortune of securing a likeness of Mr. Lockwood, which I included with this letter. Your friend, C.S. Enclosed is a drawing of Alvin Lockwood.
What does it look like?
Have that drawing?
It's included in there. It looks like Nawada.
Vada? Why the fuck does this look like you?
Well... Now, Nawada's wearing his mask, right?
Yes.
It's actually very explainable. Well, as I say, this is quite explainable, and once again, Nawada takes off his mask, and what you see is not what you saw before.
Oh, snap.
What you what you see is that.
What are these 7 hells?
Creed like jumps back like holy shit.
So explain to the fans at home that can't see your picture what they see.
So what you see is a very slender male figure that has stark white hair, stark white eyes, a perfectly pale white complexion. Have they ever seen anything like this, Johnny? Would they be aware of what they're seeing? Or should I tell them?
You can tell them.
And so before you see one of the more rare species in our land of a changeling. And you see him change his face back to what you knew as Nawada. You see him change it back to this face. Then you see him change his face to Yuda, to Johnny, and in between each one of them changing back to to this face.
That is some party trick, Nevada.
So, I guess the question is, why was that the face you were wearing before?
So, it's easier to take on the identity of someone who has passed, as you will not run into them. I am a changeling. I do have the capability of basically taking on any humanoid form or shape or look, including voice, that I have come across. And at that moment, as we were traveling, this is my face. And Creed, well, both of you can probably understand the animosities served our way in certain circles, and it's just simply easier to not show the true form. Thus the masks. It allows me to rest in between and be myself, if you will. It can be advantageous at times. It can be protective at times.
That makes it's hard for people to trust you. I assume you've experienced that.
Exactly. If I show people my true face, they instantly assume that I am using it for my advantage or to their disadvantage. And because I am constantly on the move, because I am in this world, I tend to find myself in and out of relationships very quickly without any need to have them go deeper than what they see. And in our particular case, Alvin's usefulness is very much situational at this point.
That is true.
You said that there's animosity towards your normal face, but it seems like you picked one with more animosity directed towards it.
It would appear so. That was absolutely unintentional and consequently oftentimes the case when you find a dead individual. Sometimes it's by somebody else's hand or by nefarious means, and so therefore, yes, that is an unfortunate side effect of those choices.
Well,
And he looks at him and he puts his hands up and says, "Well, now you know."
and I'm still glad you are not made out of wood. Sorry, this is a little jarring for me. This is the first time I've seen a changeling, I assume. So, I'm sorry for the staring. I know this is a lot. I'm going to stop staring now.
He pulls his hood back and he just smiles and says, "You two, I am not concerned. Stare as you need. Take it in, because this is the true me. So learn to know this. Commit this to memory, as this will not be what is normally seen, as it's dangerous. So please do stare."
It feels weird, but okay.
Creed will commit the facial features to memory. She, as we can tell, she's not great with faces when she's sleepy, but she'll do her best.
Alright, so, changeling understood. This situation. Something attacked those people in the alleyway. Not human. Not of oddly a form or scent, so take note of that. The office. What did we find? What did we remember? Anything of value?
There was nothing. I looked. The only thing of any value were the letters that I snatched up that we already had.
Right. So, someone who is established would have pictures. They would have art. There would be some discerning feature of personality over time. No, awards, something. See where I'm going with this. That building was very new, right?
Yeah, they weren't there long.
They knew we were coming.
They were there for this.
Who set it up? Who are Alvin's or the night? Who's this nightmare speaker?
He has the letter for them to read over again if they need to.
I'm wondering that myself. You said it was something fiendish or something like that killed those two. And this Alvin Lockwood person is the nightmare speaker, so I'm just wondering if maybe that's something to do with something fiendish or something.
John.
Maybe there's something.
Johnny, DM, would that name mean anything to me? Could I do an Arcana or a Religion or a History check or something to see if that Nightmare Speaker title means anything, Creed?
Give me a knowledge religion roll.
Right, religion, got it.
I have an advantage on this. Was it a straight roll or?
Yes, because you have disadvantage because you're a sleepy girl.
That's right, that's right.
Oh, okay. 20, dirty.
Okay. With your fantastic roll, you know the Nightmare Speaker is one of the higher up members of the church or cult of Greatus.
Great. Oh, the god. Okay. Relay this to the group. I madly scribble down notes.
So, whoever Alvin was, got in some pretty deep shit with these cultists. This god we saw and heard about in Delicott.
Do we know, Johnny, if there are churches, like, how well known is this god? Do we know?
Greatus is, I guess, the big bad god. So, in the pantheon of deities, of the major deities, Greatus is the corruption, the ender of fear, the nightmare lord. He has the domains of Arcana, death, and the grave. He thrives in fear and nightmares. So he is one of the, I guess, one of the biggest outlawed
Outlawed even in the Neo
religions.
Kingdom?
Well, not in the Neo Kingdom because there's a lot of freedom here, but in I guess the civilized world,
So,
followers of Greatus are usually bad news. There's
you
Justinian.
don't want to go toe-to-toe with them, basically.
Well, you want to get rid of them. Justinian is a lawful evil deity of knowledge, order, and war. Still lawful, pretty predictable, has a lot of followers, still not favored. And then the other major evil deity is the Forge, which is the lost and vengeful, who follows nature and tempest. And so those are the three main evil deities that have the largest followings, and there are smaller ones as well. There's like minor deities and demigods that have taken portfolios that follow an evil path, but Greatus is the one that instills the most fear in people.
Right. Well, that not really a lawyer, the fake lawyer or someone was yelling something about the Church of Stella or something, right?
Church of Stella is your lawful good or light and order domains. That's the one that the majority of your paladins follow. That's what your very good law-abiding citizens follow.
So it seems like the church or people from the church were after Alvin, trying to catch him.
According to what Bomdag yelled and what that letter states, that's what you can definitely infer.
But they think we're from the Church of Gratis is what's happening. Okay. They think at least know the Wada's character that he was playing was. Okay.
Jesus. Oh, he does what? I mean, since you no longer look like Alvin,
Yes.
is it crazy to assume Church of Stella is out of the question for investigation, or
No.
is that?
I think that honestly, now that we have exited the town, virtually unseen, they've seen Alvin enter. No one knows where he's in. They may try to pin the deaths in the alleyway on him if anyone happened to have seen us enter that building. In all reality, they're looking for 3 creatures that no longer will be seen as a whole. You see the advantage of dropping this facade. So now we are as safe as we could be anyway. We could easily re-enter the town, perhaps in the afternoon or even in a few hours, and start poking around, if you will.
You say that, but anyone who saw Creed and I with you, we're pretty recognizable.
Sure. But they're not looking for 3 of us. And especially the third being a different. Or we could split up, dare I say.
I don't think we should split up with creatures of unknown origin running around killing people in the back alleys. Specifically, creatures that knew where we were, knew what was happening. I think. What if we go trying to find the creature who saved our skins, essentially? Is that a crazy thought?
How do you propose we find it?
Well, they can't clean up all the blood spatters. It knows how to find us. So either we can sleep out here, stay out here for the night, or we go back in a few hours, see if the bodies have been cleaned up, just walk by and look. If they haven't, I may be able to track the creature if anything is left behind. So I propose we wait a few hours, then go back. I can walk separately across the same street, so we're not all in one group. We look like we're not traveling together.
Is there a way to find out who owns that building?
Is this possible? We could ask the locals, see if they know. Just say, I have a client that was interested in purchasing the building and it went up. Do you know who bought it? We want to see if we can maybe get it off their hands now that it's busted for a cheaper rate. Let's try that. Would ask the town's next door businesses. We could. There's probably do we know if there's like offices for that kind of thing, like real estate office?
Well, there are records, Hall of Records.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We could probably just go
Here we go.
Purchase that information.
Here we go.
So first order of business, go to Hall of Records, see who purchased it. Second order of business, if there's time and we can get away with it, see if we can maybe check the alleyway and see if she can track whatever that creature was.
I think that's a really good idea. The tracking aspect might be something we can use.
Yeah.
Okay. You figure if you're letting hours go by, tracking is probably going to be ruined with everyone muddling up the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But you do go to the Hall of Records. It's been a couple hours. You walked out of town. You had a pretty long conversation, reviewed your information, and heading back in. So it's early afternoon by the time you find the Hall of Records. It's a pretty plain building. The city clerk is above the door. You see there's movement inside.
Excuse me.
You head in first then. You walk in, you see there's cabinets and there's stacks of paper and there's stacks of books like leading up to the ceiling. The place is maybe a little bit in disarray. You don't see anyone as you speak up at first, before you hear a diminutive voice from behind a quite large stack of papers. I'll be right with you, hold on.
Take your time.
I planned on it. The older halfling woman come around. She's got cat glasses up on top of her head with a string holding the earpieces back. Her hair's done up. It's starting to turn kind of gray. She's got some wrinkles in her face. Wearing, basic commoner clothes. Nothing spectacular. He looks over to the group of you as you come in. It's like, can I help you?
Yes, the building down on
Next corner to the wide circuit, because I don't remember. Ron?
Acceptable.
I have a client that was interested in purchasing that building, and we were going to make sure it wasn't torn down and disarray. But I see it has been bought. Do you know who bought it?
No. I got a lot of
would be
work here. I got a lot of
true.
work here to do.
Where would I find this information? Could I peruse myself?
No. No, why would I let you just look through all the records here? A lot
He
of this
has 2 gold
information is
pieces.
confidential. The building on XYZ Street? Hold on.
Yes.
The fact that you just hand over 2 gold pieces, her attitude was starting to be, I'm not helping you to right away. I've got you. She walks over to a stack, probably more recent, and moves a bunch of papers around before quickly finding one. She looks up to you. She's like, yeah, here's the records for it. It was bought by Corbin Sleen.
Benzine. Oh, thank you. Do you know if they have offices around here? Their buildings?
She looks to you and she'll sound to the 2 gold coins. And instead of giving you a hard time, she kind of gives you a smile. Pretty sure that he's a professor at the university.
Oh, it's the university here in town.
She nods. She's like, you're not from around here, are you?
Unfortunately, no. We traveled for so long, and you know how clients are. They want you to go the whole world around to make sure you get all the details, you know?
She kind of shrugs, dismissing what you say after you said no. She's like, yeah, Promedy Academy. It's about 20 minutes from here. And she gives you directions on how to get there.
Thank you so much. And what was your name, man? My name is Creed.
Prudence. And she gives you a smile, a tight-lipped smile, and closes her eyes a bit when she does so.
Prudence, it has been a pleasure. Thank you so much. I will not take up more of your time.
Like, anything you need. She clinks the 2 coins together, and then turns around and bites one and tests it to make sure it's real gold, before nodding in approval and tucking it away. Okay. So you guys head to the academy with the information that you have, and as you get there, you're getting to a much better part of town. Much higher education. It seems that there are academics from all over that are here, and it's a large stone building, almost like a castle when you're looking at it from the outside, with students that are sitting in the front courtyards, reading, studying, debating with each other. Much different than what you dealt with in Delicat, and for those of you that have been to other major cities or dealt with other universities, far more attuned to what you would see in those situations. but there are people that are taking their time, enjoying themselves. You do hear some scuttlebutt as you go about a wild animal attack in the slums that killed 2 people, and that the guards are looking for some sort of big animal.
Bree would like to just be making it as casual possible, but just kind of scanning the rooftops as we pass them. Alleyways, the fun stuff. If she notices anyone watching a little bit longer than the casual, like, what for you glance.
No, just people kind of glance at you and then they go back. Or people don't even bother looking up, they're paying attention to their own studies.
So you say that as we heard, people were basically stating that they're looking. It's presumed a large animal or something attacked these the 2 people in the alley.
That's what it seems to be going on.
Then
At least that's the story that it seems that the authorities or anyone in power has spread.
sure. Then, in light of that, Nawada palms his mask and then dons the face of Alvin again.
Okay, awesome. No one makes 2 looks at you. Does anyone notice you or anyone's concerned?
Read. Are there any stores? Are there any makeup stores? Something that maybe has a disguise kit on the route.
Not necessarily here on campus.
Oh, we're on the campus. Okay, never mind.
Theater 101.
All right. We see anything that looks like an official building?
Yeah, you see the main academic hall.
There's no guards or anything stopping us from just going?
No, you just walk in.
Vada, do you want to see if you can get the attention, or should I, or should Cor see who we can find?
Well, what are we trying to do? What
I
are you
say
thinking?
we pay. Well, I think we should. Oh, I have not told you yet.
I relay that Corbin Sleen is the one who bought the building and presumably the one who caused this funness to happen.
I think we should get a meeting with Corbin, if is it possible. Say we have urgent business, and that you are a dear friend of his.
I like it. Yes. So, do I see someone who might be of note worth that might know what's going on? More than maybe even just information, or somebody point us in the right direction.
He's also a professor.
You look around, you do see some professors, you see a lot of students. You see a custodian who's cleaning up.
I walk up to the custodian and I say, "Excuse me, sir, but I am looking to meet Corbin. What's his last name?
Sleen.
Sleen. Professor Sleen.
Professor Sleen. I'm looking to meet Professor Corbin Sleen. Who might I talk to about doing that, or do you know where he is, where we might be able to meet with him?"
He's a big human, broad shoulders, kind of on the heavier set side. Long, scraggly beard, long, scraggly hair. Really doesn't fit in with how a lot of people here look.
Mm-hmm.
But you come up to him and you ask him, and he looks down to you, he's like, Professor Sleen is on the 2nd floor.
Thank you very much. And
He doesn't have class now.
even better. Thank you very much. And I motion
You're welcome.
I wait and see if he's got anything else to say.
You're welcome.
I don't reply, and I just motion to Creed and Core and say, give him a number 2 upstairs. Let's go.
You guys should have experience with this by now, because Core talks slowly like that too.
Not quite.
I was like, Corey just speaks a little faster.
Not quite the same.
You think that, but you don't realize how often Core gets cut off.
That's true.
You guys head upstairs, and you pass by some students. Again, no one really thinks anything. You maybe get a nod or excuse me as you make it to the professor's office. The door is open, and you see a man sitting behind a desk, reading a book. Looks older. His face is clean shaven. The top of his head is balding, but he does have long white hair that settles along his shoulders and the back of his neck. Looks like he's wearing robes.
And so he's in an office or a classroom?
In an office.
He's gonna post up outside the door, kind of watch the hallways, make sure no one's passing.
She posts up. I rap on the door and walk in and say, "Hello, Professor."
The professor looks up as you knock on the door and you walk in, and his eyes go wide the second he sees you. He stands up quickly and pulls open the drawer on the desk, and he pulls out a pepper box.
I say,
And points it at you. And he's like, "What are you doing here?" And his hand's shaking, and you see his finger starts to twitch. And we'll pick up next week.
Oh shit!
Boy.
Oh!
Wow.
So
Now
many
we-
things.
Now we've got some things going on.
So many irons in the fire.
Dude, I feel like we're being tracked by an unholy creature and it's freaking me out.
But it's like our friend. It's protecting.
Yeah, it could be protecting us. Oh god. Or it just wants to get to us first.
Yeah, who knows?
Well, there's only one way to find out.
That's true. On next week's episode of Dorks Are Dangerous.
Thank you. All right. Well, for everyone that you are getting to know and hopefully at least like and tolerate, if not love, I am Johnny. For Bruce, Michelle, and Kaylee, we are Dorks Are Dangerous. Thank you for joining us. Maybe you'll check us out at Table for D4. If not, we will catch you next week as we continue this very scary mystery that we are unfolding in front of our eyes. Goodbye.
Bye!